Right then guys, today I am joined by Chris.
Hello.
And it is Chris's first time on the channel. The reason we have Chris here today is I have banished John after he made the mistake of telling me, yes, we've got all the affiliations, and it turned out we missed Hulkbuster. It totally wasn't me that was keeping track of it, it was definitely John, which is why he's been banished. So in his stead, we have Chris, who you're going to be using Hulkbuster Avengers.
I am, for the first time.
Which is going to be cool. I'm using Dark Dimension. I think it's also my first time, so one of those videos you get to see us our first times, Dark Dimension, Hulkbuster Avengers. Other than that, the only things I want to quickly talk about are the fact that the last event hosted by Web Warrior Protocols this year is coming up quickly. That is the 26th of November. It's the Infinity Series Power event. As I said, the last one I'll be hosting this year, so I'll put my feet up and then get back into it next year with a whole host of new events. We also have another giveaway that's going to be going up shortly. Today is the last day to enter the current one, but because of the time travel of YouTube, it'll already have passed by now. So, the only thing left to say, Chris, is good luck.
Good luck.
And we'll roll for priority and build some rosters. Right then, Chris, shall we roll for priority?
Let's give it a go.
I've got 3.
I've got 2.
So, I do in priority, which means it will be my choice of mission.
Yep.
So, we'll grab those and take a quick look. Right then, Chris, so we've both threw together some rosters. As we both said, it's our first time with both of these affiliation leaders. In my case, first time ever playing Dark Dimension. Chris, you've played Avengers before?
I've played Avengers. I've never been anywhere near Hulkbuster as a leader.
So it's going to be interesting to see. So we'll quickly run through the missions that we've brought along today. I have to admit there's not a huge amount of thoughts gone into my missions. Chris, I don't know about yourself.
If we can count 5 minutes in the in the bath last night, sort of thing.
That's fair. So for my missions, I've gone for relatively high threat values across the board, which you'll see is the reason why I've chosen to go with my blues. So first of all, I've got Demons Downtown. 19 threat, giving people Incinerate when the plan is to smash face is probably a good call, which is the reason I decided with this one. There are only 3 points on the board as well, so it's quite slow scoring, so I can make sure the opponent doesn't run ahead with scoring early days. After that, we've got Mutant Madman. I've got quite a lot of high physical defense characters in my roster. I've got Venom, I've got Black Panther, so it's going to be really interesting to see if that pays off. Dormammu as well himself. He's got a decent physical defense, so I can hopefully keep control of some of those points and really put the pressure on. As all I want to do is keep control of half of the points so the opponent doesn't run away. Next up we've got Deadly Meteors. This one's a little bit different. It is 17 threats, so a little on the light side for Dark Dimension. There are 3 Origin Bombs on the table, and it comes down to the player controlling the most of them scores 3 VPs. So it can be a little bit more swingy, however my plan is to root myself on 2 of them and force the opponent to come to me, and then hopefully that'll give me the edge on the scoring. In terms of reds, I've got Deadly and Legacy Virus Cured. This is a really funky mission. I think with the extra power, there's a lot of characters that can do quite a few shenanigans with this. So being able to pop off and get 8 VPs can be really, really powerful. So that is the reason I decided to put it in today. It lets you get rid of some conditions if you're holding one. So I might just ease off and try to get all 3 and use that to my advantage. Hammers is what we've got next. Everyone loves a hammer. I imagine Dormammu wielding 2 celestial god level hammers is going to be pretty funky if I can get them. And I've had that experience with Dan Humpage, and I was on the receiving end. So Chris, you're going to be on the receiving end of that hopefully. Montesi Formula is my last red. Again, very controlled. It's a mission I'm beginning to enjoy for a lot of affiliations, just because really punishing opponents for their placement with those beams can be super, super powerful. Chris, do you want to just quickly run through your missions?
Yep. So we've got, in terms of the extracts, we've got alien ship crashes in downtown. This is here quite simply because I like the threat value. I've got Hulk and Hulkbuster in my roster, so potentially opens up playing a couple of really high threat characters. I've got the Worthy Hammers, as we all know it, and that's simply because everybody loves a hammer. I've got a Hulk who definitely likes a bit of a hammer action going on. And again, I've got the scrolls, so I've got quite a durable roster. I've got quite a lot of tanky characters, so I'm okay to a point with slowing the game down. And I confess, single extracts, I've got Dr. Voodoo. He is pretty good at dealing with those.
Yeah, probably one of the best answers to a single extract.
Almost certainly. So there's a bit of logic in there. In terms of the secures, I've gone for Gamma Wave. Again, Avengers Assemble is a really powerful tool for capping Gamma Wave points, particularly towards the middle and the back. I've gone for Intrusions Open. Again, it's another high threat value, and to be honest, I just really enjoy playing it. There's no major logic behind that. I just enjoy playing that scenario. And then finally, Mutant Madman, same reason really that Aaron's got here, is that I've got a number of guys with 4 physical defense, and they are really good at flipping those on a whim effectively.
Yeah, so that is both of our missions for our rosters. Chris, I have decided to go with my blues for a couple of reasons. The first one is you've got gamma waves. Although the type of playstyle I'm going for might be good for that kind of mission, the threat value 15 is very low. As I've won priority, I don't want you to gimp me out and choose that. On top of that, your reds have got the higher threat value of the lot, so that 20, if you draw that, could force you into a position where you've got to choose between the high threats. Although it might pay off for both of us. So if we get rid of the ones we're not using, and then we give these ones a shuffle, and then I'll let you pick first, Chris.
Very kind of you. What am I feeling today? We'll go here.
Yeah, and I will go the opposite as I always do, and we'll see what we've got. So we have deadly meteors, mutate civilians, and some fear grips world with hammers.
Okay. I think I get the choice of threat value here. And I think, on balance, I am going to take the slightly lower option and play at 17, please.
No, so it's going to make some interesting choices for us both, as we've got such expensive leaders. We'll build some rosters and then we'll get back to you. Right then, Chris, for the Dark Dimension today, we've gone Dormammu and a bunch of free threats, just to get the most out of some tactics cards. I've also gone for long movers outside of Dormammu, just so I can get between those deadly meteors and hopefully grab some hammers if they get dropped all over the place. First of all in the team, we've got Dormammu himself. He's an 8 threat character with a whole wall of text, which you would expect as he's currently the most expensive character in the game, aside from Thanos with 2 of his gems. Dormammu's got a whole host of things that he can do. He's got a 6 dice energy Shadow Bolt builder, which gives out Hex and has sap power, so that can be really, really powerful and really neutralise enemy characters. Then he's got the incantation of Obliteration. So a little bit of a mouthful. And what this is, it's an 8 dice missed attack. It is range free, it costs him 5 power to use, but if you get a bunch of dice results that you need, you essentially get to carry on chaining this attack down a line of enemy characters, so it can be super, super powerful. He's got a few superpowers. He's got Not of This Dimension, which is essentially a range 2 place, which helps with his manoeuvrability. He's got Feel the Power of Darkness, so after an attack target him is resolved, he can use this power. The attacking character gets pushed away small and gains a Hex special condition. If they were already Hex, they gain Incinerate, so really, really powerful. You also have Master of the Realm of Darkness, so when Dormammu suffers damage from any effect, it only gains 1 power instead of power equal to the damage dealt. However, when another allied character is damaged by an enemy effect, or by Flames of the Photon, this character gains 1 power, so that's sort of where Dormammu starts to rake in his power from. Additionally, when calculating successes or failures of this character's attacks, this character counts skulls as successes. So the only character really other than Scarlet Witch to have that, which is pretty brutal when you look at the attacks he's got. Flames of the Photon, which was mentioned just, is his leadership. And in short, what this does is it gives every character an additional power in the power phase. You have to use this leadership regardless of who else is in your team. And then a little bit of a downside to this is during the power phase, if a friendly character has 6 or more power, they suffer 1 damage. However, this will trigger Dormammu gaining some more power. So you can see how it all starts to cycle and mill forward as Dormammu essentially saps the life out of his resurrected or demonic version of teammates. After that, we've got Baron Zemo, so absolute hero from the core box. You see him everywhere still. He survived the changes to all the character cards where a lot of us thought he'd be getting a little bit of a nerf. Nevertheless, though, he's an absolute monster. He's got a long move. He's 3/3/4 for his defences, so a little bit above average as well. He only has 5 on his health on both sides of his card, but he does have quite a bit of defensive tech that can help him out. He's got Master Swordsman, which will essentially let him reroll all his dice when defending against a physical attack within 2, or when attacking an enemy character within 2 with a physical attack. So that can be really, really powerful, absolutely amplifying his damage output and his defensive capabilities. Talking of rerolls, he's got Strategic Genius. So when this character or an allied character within 2 of it is defending or attacking, they can reroll 1 dice. So that's really, really powerful, especially if you combine it with an attack like Impact Webbing or Shield Throw, where there are certain triggers you're after. Moving on to Ghost Spider, another free threat that is notorious and seen everywhere. That's the beauty of the Dark Dimension. You can just take whoever you want, as no matter what Dormammu demands that you play his leadership. Gwen's got some pushes, some pulls, some shenanigans she can do. Again, a long move, 3/3/3 for her defences, so not the tankiest of characters. However, we're not too worried about that, which we'll see why in a minute. Lastly, we've got Sam Wilson, Captain America. So the Avengers may be trying to save their leader who's been taken away, which is why Tony Stark has had to step up in the Hulkbuster suit to deal with Dormammu. Sam's got some great attacks. He's got Red Wing Assault, which is his spender. It's got a throw and a place, which again, really useful. He's got a charge, which costs 2 power. However, with Dormammu, he'll have the power for that every turn. So he's making really good use of that, the same as Baron Zemo. Moving on to Team Tactics cards, we've got a couple of affiliated, a couple of restricted, and one that I think you need to staple to Dormammu, and that card is Smash. So, during an allied character's activation, if it's within one of a terrain feature, it can spend 2 to play this card. If they spend the 2 power to play this card, they destroy the piece of terrain, and then for the rest of this activation, they add dice equal to the size of the terrain feature that was destroyed to all of their attacks. So Dormammu smashing a size 3 piece of terrain means he's getting 3 extra dice on his attacks. Really punishing. Not so good on the rest of my characters, so it's not very subtle as to who will be playing this. Next up, we've got Dark Restoration. So as I was saying, we're not too worried about our characters being taken out of action, as we may or may not be able to bring them back. During the cleanup phase, Dormammu may spend 6 power to play this card. You get to place an allied character with threat value of 3 or less that has been KO'd this game within 2 of Dormammu. This character is healthy and has no damage, special conditions or effects. So if Chris manages to take out Gwen, who is the weaker link in my team, you can bet that she'll be back for vengeance as Dormammu summons up another version of her to fight on. Next up, we've got Dark Empowerment. So during a character activation, it may suffer 1 damage to play this card. You get to choose another allied character within 3 of the active character. The character that played this card cannot generate power from the next attack it makes its activation. What happens instead is the chosen character will gain that power. So if I need Dormammu to have lots of power, or I need Sam to have enough for a Red Wing Assault, Gwen or Zemo can sacrifice their power gain by taking a little bit of damage to pass it over to them. It's also quite a nice way to make sure I can mitigate having that 6 power in the power phase that will damage me. My last 2 cards are Patch Up and Follow Me, so these are 2 restricted cards. They are the ones I obviously have in my roster, and I've chosen to use both of them because they're so powerful and really can help me in a bit of a pinch. So Patch Up, first of all, absolutely great. The only healing really anyone has access to. Dormammu already has an absolutely crazy health pool, so keeping him alive for longer on his healthy side could be really, really important and really punish Chris. Again, a good way to dump a lot of power to avoid having 6 in the power phase. Next up, we've got Follow Me. So that 6 power we were talking about, if a character's got it at the end of their action, they can spend all of it and let another friendly character activate immediately after them. Some shenanigans with controlling priority there, letting me go with 2 characters at once. Having a Baron Zemo charge followed by a Captain America charge all in one activation can be very, very nice. So that is all of the Dark Dimension roster. We'll quickly take a look at what Chris has got for his Hulkbuster team before we get into the game.
Alright, so for the Hulkbuster team, we're starting off with Tony Stark himself, who, as Aaron said, is here to rescue Captain Sam, possibly by bludgeoning him into unconsciousness first. Hulkbuster is not a character you see leading the team every day. Quickly talking about his leadership, when an allied character would suffer damage from a collision, you reduce the amount suffered by 1. That has no minimum of 1 in it, it is just a flat reduction of 1. You don't see it every day. If you've been bullied by your local Magneto player, it might be worth investing in a Hulkbuster. Going down the rest of the card, he has Hit and Run, which you all know about, I'm sure, at this point. He's also able to pay 3 power to throw a size 4 terrain feature, Medium. And he also has a neat little superpower called Built to Take It. For 1 power, he can, when targeted by an attack, use this. It'll reduce the damage by 1, and as a result of using this, he will not be pushed by any special rules appended to that attack. If Aaron is able to chew through the 13 wounds that are on the Hulkbuster card, Tony pops out into his emergency support suit, which I'll quickly just flip around and show you. He isn't particularly durable on this side with 5 wounds and fairly low or average defences. He does retain the same leadership. If I can somehow get this version of the suit to 10 power, I can very quickly use my backup plan and pop another Hulkbuster suit down from orbit. On this side, Tony also actually gets the ability to advance himself medium if he is damaged by an attack. So that costs 2 power. So it's sort of an on-card version of Fallback, which a tactics card I'm sure you'll be familiar with.
Very similar to Toad's Slippery as well.
Yeah, exactly. Quickly going down everybody else, Black Widow is there because I needed an affiliated 2 threat. I wish for this scenario she'd got a slightly better energy defense, but we are where we are. Luke Cage is here. Again, he's got fairly average energy defenses, which for my team is about the norm, I have to say. I'm expecting Aaron to try and punch my face in here. It's one of the things that Dormammu does quite well because of the power that is flying around. So I'm hoping that the defenses and the unbreakable skin will keep him in the fight. Same logic I've applied really with War Machine then. He is there just to punch things a little bit and is also bringing damage reduction to the table. Finally, we've gone for probably everybody's new favourite 3 threat. Probably the character for me that I think probably did somewhere near the top, I would say, from the round of changes. I think it's probably between Bucky and Hulk as to who came out looking a little bit smarter as a result of it. But we've gone for Bucky Barnes, who's on loan from Hydra and from S.H.I.E.L.D. to the Avengers for the day. Bucky loves a hammer, and I mean, he hits like a truck, and he is just fun to play. Going down the cards very quickly, Avengers Assemble, you'll all know, pay a power, take a short move, very useful, very flexible card. Helios Laser Bombardment. Characters I have here don't always spend power particularly well. War Machine really has nothing beyond his spender to put it into. Luke Cage can use it for his reverse bodyguard, but he also has a habit of getting punched quite a lot. And again, there's not huge amounts that I'll be doing with power on Black Widow. So potentially I've got a few characters that can fuel up a fairly hefty orbital laser, possibly into Dormammu. Heroes for hire, you all know this one. Anybody within 3 of Luke Cage can pay 2, hire him to stand in the way and get punched in the face for them. Patch Up, Aaron's talked about. It's the only unaffiliated healing card I think that's left in the game, and seems to be stapled into every roster these days.
Unless you've got Groot.
Unless you've got Groot. Unless you've got Groot, or possibly you brought HUD along to sort of act as med pack on a stick almost. And finally, adopting a similar logic to Aaron here, I've gone for Smash. Hulkbuster's a big boy. The prospect of a 10 dice meteor punch is quite an appealing one to me.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like it would be as well.
So that in a nutshell is my roster.
So we've shown you both our rosters. We're going to quickly move into deployment and then we'll get to rolling some dice. Right then guys, so we've got everything ready. I've got all of my models just over to the side here. Chris, I'm using some of your models today. It's good to show off different paint jobs. However, you didn't paint these ones, did you?
I didn't, no. So I've just got to shout out my mate Will, who I will be linking this video to when it goes up. Will takes care of all of my painting for me. He's an old friend from my Guild Ball days, and I'm not a good painter at all. I don't have the time or the talent or the inclination, frankly. I just like to throw dice. So yeah, thanks to Will for his efforts.
So, in terms of terrain, we've kept it fairly even. We've got one big size 5 over here. Sadly, no one's going to be able to smash that, which is probably for the best. Then after that, we've got a bunch of size 3s. So we've got a cargo container, the Venom Bugle, and the Stan Lee statue. Moving down from that, we've got a bunch of size 2s. So we've got a dumpster, a couple of cars, all of the hedges, and lastly, you can't play a game without a couple of size 1s. So we've got the 2 barrels, one over there by you, Chris, and one in the middle of the table there. So I did have priority, which means I have to drop down the first model. Dark Dimension doesn't feel like somewhere where I'm going to be subtle, so I'm not even going to try to be. I'm just going to put Dormammu dead centre in the middle of the table.
I don't even understand what subtle means, to be completely honest with you, so I am actually just going to mirror it with the really obvious one. Bucky loves a hammer.
He does.
Bucky's going to go and grab the middle hammer and then start spraying and praying on people.
Nice. Next up after that, I think Baron Zemo's going to go down. As Baron Zemo can't fly and he doesn't have wall crawler, I'm going to start him up on the train, just so that if he does decide to go over this way, I've got no penalties for moving down off of it.
I will go over here and I will put down War Machine as one of my 2 more durable models.
Nice. So again, the pros of having such a long moving roster are that I don't really need to commit to one side of the board. So I'm going to put Sam just here, where he should be able to get to any objective I need him to.
And over the other side, I'll take my other durable character in the form of Luke Cage, who will go here and will be in charge of trundling towards there.
So last for me is Gwen. Sadly, there's not space to fit her in between Dormammu and Zemo, so I think I'm going to make the decision whether I want to go after the side of Luke or War Machine. If I'm being honest, Heroes for Hire does do my head in, so Gwen's going to go this side, maybe giving her a little bit away of where I'm going to be heading.
Yeah, so I'm going to match that by actually popping my Hulkbuster over here as well.
Nice, so all the iron suits on one side of the table. Chris, I've got no one left to deploy, you've just got Black Widow.
I do have Black Widow, and she is going to go and join Luke Cage over here for the time being. With her long move, she can at least scamper to other places on the board to try and flip some points.
So, the last thing to say is good luck.
Good luck, sir.
See how
Thank
it
you.
goes. Right then, Chris, I did have priority, so I've got to show you my hand a little bit with where I go, and I think what I'm going to do is not be very subtle at all. I know Bucky can be quite a pain, but I'm just going to send Dormammu straight forward with no cares in the world. So he's not going to bother trying to grab that hammer, he's just going to move once to here.
Yep.
And then he's going to move again to end within one of this point. What I might actually do is go to the extent over here, which will as well put him within range to these pieces of terrain in case I want to play a smash next turn. I'm going to spend 1 power from his 2 to activate the Meteor. So I'll just grab some dice trays.
Yep.
And I need 1 success on these 4 dice to claim it as my own. We get it comfortably with 3 successes. There's no downside to that because I didn't get any skulls. So that is just mine now. So I'll grab a webbed token just to be super clear. And then that, Chris, is the end of Dormammu's activation.
Cool, okay. Big imposing model right in the middle of the table there. I think probably heading in and grabbing a hammer for myself wouldn't be a bad idea at this point. So I think he is somewhat built to deal with this. So we'll go with Blue Cage. I'm fairly confident in his toughness. Famous last words, of course, once dice come into play. He's easily got the movement to be in there. So he will just take a wonder. And he will just nibble into there.
Nice.
And then he will pick up that hammer. And then he is going to be done. And I will use the green ticks on him.
Nice. So next up for me, I'm just going to look if I think Zemo can scoot his way over there. I think he can, but just to be on the safe side, I'm going to send Sam instead.
Yep.
So I'm going to move once to here. And once again, just to end with one of this point. And quite interestingly, because I gained 2 power return, I've got enough to pick up the hammer and interact with the meteor point. So I'm going to roll more energy defense, which is 3. And that point is also mine as well. Just putting a little bit of pressure on the Avengers to run up and get their hands on some meteors for themselves.
Yeah, okay. What's the range of Dormammu's attack? Is it 4?
Shadow Bolt is range 4.
Shadow Bolt is range 4. Alright, let's have a little think about this. Is Dormammu immune to bleed?
Dormammu is immune to bleed, incinerate, and stagger.
He's a skeleton, it was probably a stupid question actually. I think for the time being, I think Bucky's going to go, so we're just going to work out where range 5 is and go from there. So Bucky's just going to take, he can easily make it there.
With a medium move.
With a medium move. He's not the toughest guy in the world, Bucky, but we'll start laying down a little bit of hurt from range.
So I'm guessing you're going to grab that hammer
He
first.
is going to pay his power to grab that hammer. And then he is just going to have an assault rifle shot with 5 dice. So, 4 base and 1 for the hammer.
If we grab this dice tray and just put it sideways there for now. So he's duct taped the hammer to the end of his assault rifle, which then means he gets 5
like that.
dice. So I have 4 defense dice.
Oof. It's not a bad start.
So I've got 2 at the minute.
I have 4, 3 hits and a wild.
So I've got a crit to add. That wasn't a success, that was also I'm blocking 2 in total.
Yep.
So you're doing 2 damage.
I get 2 power for that.
I only gain the 1 power. And then you do get rapid fire.
Yep. Fortunately cannot make the skeleton bleed as we discussed, which is a shame. We'll give it another go. Just 2 this time.
So I'm blocking 1 to take another damage and gain 1 more power.
Another power.
So now the attack is resolved, Chris, so I am going to spend 2 of my power for Feel the Power of Darkness. So, as we said, after an attack targeting this character is resolved, I may use this. The attacking character gets pushed away small, so Chris, if you could just push Bucky straight backwards towards the deployment zone.
You happy with that?
Yep. And then he also gains Hex. So not only is he a little bit out of the way, but he's also hexed. So hopefully it pays off the fact that I've let him sort of be safe and sound with a hammer over there.
Yeah. And then Bucky is done and dusted.
Nice. Is it then over to me, Chris?
Back to you.
So I'll just grab a tick for Mr. Sam. So I think Gwen is maybe the one I'm going to go with next. I'm just going to move once within 1 of this hammer as far forward as I can. As I think people really underestimate how powerful Gwen can be once she starts rolling those bigger dice.
I've played enough Web Warriors to know that once Gwen starts rolling, it is not a happy place to be.
So she's going to grab that hammer, which costs her a power, And then she's just going to move along over to here. So she stood behind this hedge, meaning she'll get cover as long as Dormammu doesn't decide to smash it.
You say that with so much relish as well. You're really looking forward to smashing something with Dormammu, aren't you? Let's do a fairly easy one for me here. Widow's just going to go to there, and then she's going to jump up again to be probably around here somewhere. Okay, she's got tons of movement, so again, she can make it fairly comfortably. Now, she's only got the 2 energy defense, but this, if nothing else, reduces my chances of rolling a skull. So we'll just see if we can take that point and get things rolling on the objectives, which she rolls a crit, and she takes it.
So that one is now yours.
So it turns out if you have enough faith, it doesn't matter how many dice you're rolling.
Exactly. So, Chris, over to me.
Yeah, I will just pop a tick on to Natasha.
So I think Zemo is weighing his options, and what I'm actually going to do, Chris, is pass, as you still have 2 big iron suits left to go with.
Yep, that's absolutely fine. So I am going to go with the War Machine, who is going to take a wander over to be here. And again, I think his beam, correct me if I'm wrong, is range 3.
It is.
So I would imagine, are we in or are we out? Yeah, we're comfortably in, aren't we?
Yep.
So we'll just give a little 5 dice nibble into Captain Sam. So see if we can upset him a little bit.
I only have 3 defense dice, so I don't have the power to buff. Gwen sadly doesn't have the power to pull into safety, so we'll see how it goes.
Here we go. That is just 2.
So Sam's got 1 at the minute, however it is a crit. We'll add that in, take me to 2, so I'm A-OK.
Absolutely fine. I don't generate any power from that, so...
Don't get bleed because you didn't get a wall.
Nope.
So is that the end of War Machine?
That's War Machine done.
So I think it's time to see how far Zemo can actually get in this direction. So I'm going to move him once to here. So I'm just going to do it like so. Like that. Drop him back a little bit just to make up for that tiny bit of the building. Then with second action, he's going to move again. So just to there. Which I think puts him in 1 of the objectives.
Put him within 1.
It does indeed. Sadly, that is the end of his activation. He's got nothing else left to do. Chris, it's then Hulkbuster for you.
Yep. Alright, so Hulkbuster is going to take a bit of a... I believe he can... It doesn't matter because it's a small car anyway, so...
Sadly, he doesn't fly, but he is size 4, so most terrain means
doesn't matter. So he will just very quickly move over to be here.
Yep.
And then he starts the game, so he starts every round with 2 power. So he's going to pay for hit and run.
Yep.
And he is going to stick that into... I'm going to hit Sam with that, I think. So it is 6 dice. Just talk through Heavy Repulsor Blast quickly. It's a 6 dice energy attack. After the attack's resolved, the character will gain power equal to damage. If I fail to get the damage through, I still generate 1 power, and there is an auto short push.
Nice.
So we're going to stick that into Sam.
Yeah, and it's a very reliable attack. Now Hulkbuster's moved out the way, we're just going to chuck this way. Be careful of the barrel, and see how it goes. So I've got just 1 at the minute.
I have actually rolled 5 here with 2 crits.
Nice, so I'll let you add your crits first.
Yep. So that's 7.
So I've got a crit to add, and then I have 1 reroll for Strategic Genius with Baron Zemo. Taking me to 2 in total, so it's not enough to save Sam, who is dazed, so he takes 5 damage. He gains 5 power. Does the push happen before or after damage though, Chris?
It's after.
So he won't be pushed, however he will daze on the spot and drop that hammer. So Tony, clearly a big fan of his fellow Avengers leader there.
So I did say I was going to try and rescue him by bludgeoning him unconscious.
So you get to place this hammer within 2 of Sam.
I'm actually just going to pop it right on this point here for the moment.
And you get a medium move from hit and run.
Which won't surprise you to learn. I'm just going to go and drop onto here.
Nice.
Then I've got 5 power to play with, so I'll pay 1 to pick up the hammer. So I'm not. They're quite like Thor-sized hammers, right? So it's a bit undersized, but
as always, you just duct tape it wherever, and you get the extra dice.
And I will risk it. I will pay 1, and I will roll 3 dice, looking for 2 successes to try and flip that point to myself,
which could be massive in terms of swinging DPs to the Avengers.
And I get nothing.
So luckily, you don't take any damage though. You haven't got the Meteor. So Chris, at the end of the round, which was round 1, as we always manage to forget putting the round counters on, it is quite evenly matched. You have dazed Sam, however, I'm not too worried as I have got a little bit of dark restoration if need be. So, in terms of VPs, I get 1 point for my hammer,
Yep.
And then I get 3 points as I currently control 2 of the 3 meteors, taking me to 4 VPs in total. On the other side of the table, Chris, you've got 3 of the hammers, so it's really, really close as you jump to 3 points just behind the Dark Dimension as we move into round 2. So, Chris, going into turn 2, we've put all the power on characters. I do, unfortunately, need to take a damage on Sam as he has 6 or more power. There's nothing else to do in the clean-up phase or the power phase for either rosters, so we're just going to get right into this turn, and we're going to start off by pulling Hulkbuster in for a fight against Dormammu. So
I can't tempt you for a pass at this
no,
point.
Definitely
No, okay,
not.
fair.
So Gwen is going to spend 2 power
Yep.
to use a web line to pull in the Hulkbuster.
Because she can pull a Hulkbuster suit for...
She's just that strong.
She's just that strong, yeah.
She gets to push him small towards her, so I'm going to make sure he doesn't hit Baron Zemo on his way in. I'm just going to pull him right over here. He will stop when he hits his hedge though. However, now he will be facing off against Dormammu. I think we'll just turn him this way.
Yeah, I think
And turn
that's
Dormammu
fair.
as well.
Big cinematic superhero fight coming in.
Yeah, so first thing I'm going to do with Gwen's actions is a 4 dice spider technique into Hulkbuster.
Yep.
It is 5 dice because of the hammer, and this is going to show just how good Gwen can be, hopefully.
I'm going to pay 1 for Bill to take it.
Which means you will reduce the damage from this attack by 1.
Correct.
You can't be pushed as a result of it. Unfortunately, I can't push you away anyway. So, 5 physical dice for me,
Yeah, and I'm on 4.
and we'll see how it goes. So I'm on 3 at the minute.
I have rolled 2 with a crit.
So I also have a crit which I'll add in. So 4 in total.
I've rolled 3.
So not what I was looking for there. You reduce damage by 1. Is it to a minimum?
No, there is no minimum on
So
it.
you take no damage at all. However, Gwen is going to try again with her second action. She's going to do another spider technique. It is 4 dice base plus 1 for the hammer, and then an extra 3 dice because I've already hit you this activation.
Yeah.
Are you going to use Built to take it again?
I will, because I feel like damage is coming through this time.
So we'll see what happens and hopefully get an explosive roll. A little bit better, 4 this time.
I have 2 with a crit again.
I also have a crit to add in, so we'll put that in. So I'm on 4 in total.
I've rolled 2,
You do reduce damage by 1 though.
so I take the 1.
Oh, I gained 1 power. It's not really what I was looking for. I was being a little bit ambitious, hoping for a huge bunch of attacks to give me enough power for a follow me, but it wasn't destined to happen. That is the end of Gwen's activation, as the 2 hulking beasts are stood facing off against one another.
So this leaves me in an interesting position, Aaron, because I feel like now getting punched by Dormammu is the exact opposite of what I want to do with Hulkbuster. So I'm now sat here weighing it up as to whether I think I can take a full round of smash attacks for him, and also whether I actually think I have the ability to put Dormammu down first before he potentially ruins my life. Do you have enough power for the incantation of obliteration, or whatever it's called?
Don't, as it's 5 power.
You don't, as it's 5 power. Okay. How close is he to being able to do that?
He's got 3 at the minute.
Got 3 at the minute.
So I just realised, Chris, because Sam took damage from Flames of the full time, Dormammu would have gained 1 power.
Yep.
He's actually on 4, so he's a little bit closer than I thought to that incantation of obliteration.
So the question I have to ask myself is, do I think I'm going to take 12 damage on Hulkbuster or not here? And am I going to risk that? And I think the answer is maybe. Having given it a bit of thought, I am just going to start wailing on Dormammu here,
Nice.
I think. So I'm actually going to start with a Meteor Punch. So I'm going to pay 3 power,
Nice.
and I am going to put in, I think it comes out a total with the hammer of 9 dice into Dormammu.
So I get 4 defense dice, and we'll see what happens with the first of the big hitters taking a swing.
And the answer is not spectacular.
So you've got 5,
I've got 5.
and I'm currently blocking 3 with a crit. So I will add more crits I don't think you've got in it.
Nope.
So I'm blocking 3 in total.
Yep.
And I'll take 2 damage.
You don't. Oh, you wouldn't generate power from
No.
it anyway.
Well, I would get 1, but because it's a meteor punch, I don't get any at all. So I take 2 damage on Dormammu. Then are there any triggers as
So-
part of it?
If I do damage, I can throw you away medium.
Is that regardless of size?
That is... oh no, it's size 4 or less, so you don't care anyway.
I don't, because I'm too big to handle.
You are too chunky of a boy. How many wounds is left on this guy?
5. Is
5.
that the end of the attack though? Is there anything else?
That is it.
So I'm going to spend 2 power on Dormammu for Feel the Power of Darkness. So I get to push Hulkbuster small. I'm just going to bump him into the friendly neighbourhood Zemo.
Yep.
And he will gain Hex crit. Then it is over to you to finish off your activation.
Yeah. Do I want to try and hit Dormammu again? And the short answer to that is probably. So I'm actually going to stick a 7 dice heavy repulsor blast into Dormammu.
And is the push on this any size?
It is any size I like.
So Dormammu will be getting neutered away a little bit.
So 7 dice coming in.
I do get 4 defence.
Wow.
So you've got 3 crits and 2 hits.
Yep.
So I need a big defence roll or else I'm already going to be dazed. 1. So if you get 1 more crit.
I don't.
So Dormammu takes 4 damage, leaving him with just 1 health on this side.
Yep.
He gains 1 power.
I gain 4 power.
Now you get to push me away small.
I think I'm rather simply just going to pop you this away and just make you come back to me.
Yep. And then I'm also going to spend 2 power for Feel the Power of Darkness.
Yep.
So I would get to push you again, however I can't because of where you are, but you will now gain Incinerate as you are already hexed. So that's a big first amount of swings from Hulkbuster there into Dormammu, leaving with just 1 health remaining.
That is the Hulkbuster done.
So is it then over to me, Chris?
It is.
So we're going to have a look at where to go here, I think. Just going to see, is War Machine in free of Hulkbuster, and he isn't at the minute, sadly.
I'd like to say that was by judgment, but it was complete luck.
So what we might actually do here is go with Sam. So Sam is going to go. He's going to spend 2 power for a charge.
Yep.
Taking him to here.
Yep.
So I'll just drop that off of him now. And then he's just going to do a shield throw into the Hulkbuster. So it's only 4 dice.
Yep.
Would you like to use built to take it?
I have a bunch of power left from smacking Dormammu about, so I will be built to take it.
So 4 dice from Sam. Just the 1.
I've got a crit and a shield, so
and you've taken no damage anyway. So sadly, that's nothing for Sam. He does gain 1 power.
yep.
Then with his second action, I'm just having a look. I could do a Red Wing Assault into Hulkbuster to get a place onto the objective. However, I want to guarantee a big patch up on Dormammu. So I'm just going to move once now to here.
Yep.
And then spend 5 power for patch up on Dormammu. So we get to take 5 damage off of it.
Yep.
That means he looks a little bit better than he was in his last stay. And that is the end of Sam's activation.
Okay.
Not a huge amount of excitement there, just setting up for Dormammu to come back in and take a swing at the Hulkbuster.
Yeah. So Dormammu's now back to having 6.
He's got 6 health left.
Yeah. Okay. I think we might struggle to chew through that here, particularly if I'm trying to do it with Widow. Sam's got 4 health left.
He does.
Does he have the power left to throw a shield up?
He does not.
He does not. Not to the first one, anyway. Do I want to go with Bucky here and try and ruin... well, it would take him out. He'll be coming back at some point.
He will.
Or... have you taken any damage on Zemo, sorry?
No, Zemo and Gwen have taken none at all.
Yeah.
Cap's taken 1, Dormammu's taken 4.
Yeah. Okay, so... do I just walk in with War Machine and then spray into both of them? That could be funny, actually.
It could.
That could be funny. So, Rhodey's going to go in.
Yep.
He's going to move to be about here.
Within 3 of both Gwen and
Should be
Hulk.
within 3 of both of them, I should have thought.
He definitely
Definitely is. So we will stick it into both of them. I will start with Zemo.
Nice. So I am not going to use Master Swordsman or anything.
Yep.
I'm just going to take it on the chin.
Yep. 3 with a crit.
So my 3 defense dice, I'm on 2 with a crit.
I will roll my crit in. It's nothing.
So I'll add more crit, and then I do have 1 reroll for Strategic Genius. So I'm blocking 3.
Yep.
However, you did get the wall, which means Zemo will be bleeding. So then we're going to do the second attack into Gwen. So I'm blocking nothing.
I have 2
I do have cover though, so I get to block 1 thanks to that. So I'm taking 1 damage and gaining bleed on Gwen as well, as you do have the wild.
And then I will spend 1 of the power that I've just generated to have a sneaky attempt at the point, which I actually get.
Yep.
Got it.
Just worth mentioning as well, I do get another power on Dormammu as you dealt damage to Gwen.
I also take a damage for rolling a skull on
Yep.
Rhodey. But that one now becomes mine.
Which isn't ideal for what I was going for. However, it is now over to me.
It is over to you.
So I think Zemo is going to have something to say to the War Machine here. I just grab a bleed for Gwen. So Zemo's going to start off by spending 2 for a Master Swordsman attack.
Yep.
And doing a Sword Strike into War Machine. So it is 5 dice physical.
I get 4.
And I can reroll everything here. So just 1.
I've just got 1, but it is at least a crit.
So you add your crit.
I have my crit. So that's still just the 1.
And I get to reroll everything. So just 2.
So I take with
1
just
damage.
the 1. Yep.
Again, 1 power attack damage. You will be bleeding because I did get a War Machine immunity, is it?
He isn't, no.
So lots of bleed on this side of the table. Then the question is, what does Zemo do with his second action? So I think Zemo is just going to try again. He's going to spend 2 for another Master Swordsman.
Yep.
For another 5 dice strike into War Machine. A little bit better, I've got 3.
I'm blocking 1. No
So
crits.
I've got 2 dice to reroll. Then I get a strategic genius reroll, which I can't use. I did miss it on the first attack, but that is my fault, so 4 in total.
Yep, so I block 1, I reduce 1, but I am still taking 2.
Yep. You go down 2 power.
Which leaves me alive on a not particularly great looking 1.
So Zemo will then spend a power from his 2 that he's got left to try and take this meteor back, which could be really big if I manage to get it. So 3 defense dice, and I do
Nails
a
it.
trio of hits, so that is back to being under the control of the Dark Dimension. At the end of Zemo's activation, you'll take a damage from the bleed, and then Chris, it is over to you. Sadly, that won't trigger Dormammu's power gain, as it is not an enemy effect.
Okay. I think I want to try and give you something a little bit different to think about here. I don't know whether I will actually get away and kill Dormammu here, but I want to continue trying to cripple him if I can.
Yep.
So, Bucky, hopefully, he says, should be able to get within 5 of you.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty easily. So, Bucky will take a move to be about here, and then he is just going to try and continue the hurt. I am hexed, so I won't be getting my crits on, getting to explode any crits here, but 5 dice with a hammer's fine. Like, I just need Aaron to roll badly, which he is famous for doing.
Yeah, definitely.
Sometimes.
So 4 dice physical defense for me.
I'll pick that up in a minute. Yep, 5 coming in.
So I'm rolling 3 successes. Chris.
I've got 2 with a crit, so that hex is coming in big.
Did you get the hit though for rapid?
I did get the hit for rapid fire,
So,
and then we do it again. 3 again.
so just the 1 this time. So I am taking a couple of damage, and only gaining 1 power in return for it, sadly. So that's Dormammu back to have taken 5 damage.
And then that is Bucky done.
So I'm not particularly happy about the guy with the duct tape hammer keep trying to daze me into Dormammu. So I think I'm going to do something about it. Dormammu is going to spend 2 power.
Yep.
To place himself within 2 of his current position, which is absolutely huge due to the size of his base.
Yeah.
So he's going all the way to here, and then he is going to do a shadow bolt into the Winter Soldier. So this is a 6 dice energy attack. You are hexed, so you won't be getting any crits. And Dormammu's not happy at all. He's got 5 already.
I've just rolled the 1.
So you take 4 damage.
Yep.
I did get 2 wild, so I sapped 2 of your power as
Yep.
well.
So Bucky loses 2.
You are already hexed, so sadly I can't give you that again. How much does that leave Bucky on?
How many did you do?
I had 5 in total, so you've taken 4 damage.
Yeah, that leaves him with all of 1 left.
So I think I'm going to try and finish him off here. I could be a little bit greedy and use smash to get those extra 2 dice, but I'm hoping I can do it with the 6 I've already got. So 6 dice into Bucky. 3 at the minute with a crit.
I'm blocking 1, so
So I'll add my crits, 4 in total, which is enough to base bucket, which means he drops that hammer. Which I'm going to place down just in range of Dormammu to grab.
yep, I will pass you that.
Thank you. I didn't get any wild, so I don't sap any power, sadly. But I will spend the 1 out of the 3 I have to pick up that hammer. And then that is Dormammu finished.
Okay.
So that leaves me with no one left to activate, I do not think.
So, no, I think you're all done. So Sam has...
Sam's got 4 left.
Okay, and is he within 1 of that middle
He
objective?
should be, but I might have not measured it properly. So no, he's just outside of it.
Just outside. Do I run in with Luke Cage and give it a go, is the question. I'm looking for 2 successes, but it would be a massive swing back the other way. Right, let's think about this. So, does Natasha want to try and soften? Well, Natasha isn't going to kill Dormammu now, is she? So, is she? Well, she's expendable anyway, so if she can roll 2 successes on this anyway, that's a terrible way to treat your 2 threats, by the way, viewers. Like, don't just refer to them as being expendable. Unless they're Wong. So she's going to go...
You can't really go Wong with that though.
You can't really go... Oh, God. So I will just run in to be about there.
Now you're looking for 2 successes on 2 dice.
2 successes on 2 dice. Which I
And she
get.
gets it. So that is your middle point now, which is a huge swing after a little bit of a misplay with me not measuring Sam properly. So the middle point is yours. We don't need a token for the minute.
No. And then, do I want to take Luke in? He's sitting there with a hammer. And so I think, actually, Luke, as much as I would like to have Heroes for Hire online in the middle, I think Luke is just going to chill out there for this turn. So
that is the end of the round, Chris.
Yep.
A little bit of a swing. I have 2 hammers, meaning I'll get 2 VPs.
Yep.
Chris, you also have 2 hammers, but you also have control of the Meteors, giving you a total of 5, taking you to 2 in front of the Dark Dimension. That is the end of the round, so we'll sort out our power as we move into round 3. So, going into round 3, we've tidied up the power tokens on both sides of the table. For me, especially, it's important to make sure I don't take any damage from flames at the full time. Luckily, I didn't this round, so I'm just going to have a look where to start with the Dark Dimension. We didn't have the best of round 2s, after some lazy measuring with Sam meant that Black Widow was able to run in and steal one of the Meteor points, giving a big swing to the Avengers and putting them 2 points ahead of the Dark Dimension. I am going to start off with Dormammu, Chris.
Yep.
As I think we need to really make this clash of giants happen.
yeah.
As whoever comes out victorious is going to have a little bit of an edge moving forward. So Dormammu is going to start off by playing Smash. It would normally cost him 2 power, however because he's holding a hammer it's going to cost him 3. And I'm going to get rid of this size 2 hedge, which now means I'll be adding 2 dice into my attack rolls for this activation. I'm then going to have a look, and I am within range 4 of the Hulkbuster. So I'm going to do a Shadow Bolt into him. So it's going to be 6 dice base, plus 1 for the hammer, plus 2 because of Smash. Chris, would you like to use Built to Take?
I would, because this is quite a big hit coming in. I'm on 2 dice as well, and I can't explode my
Of the
crits.
Incinerate, yeah, so 9 dice for me. And it's really important to remember, when Dormammu attacks, he counts skulls in both my roll and your roll of successes. So, hoping to do a little bit of damage. Not the best roll, I've got 5.
I've got 1 crit and 1 skull.
So, we will move these 4 to the side. So I've got 4 normal successes as such. I have got a skull though, which counts, giving me 5 in total. Chris, you've blocked 1. You've also rolled a skull, so that will give me plus 1 to mine, meaning I've got a total of 6. To your 1 that you've blocked, you reduce damage by once you take 4 damage.
Yep.
I did get 1 sap, so I gained 1 power from that, Chris.
I'll pop that one back away.
Then, for his second action, Dormammu is going to try to carry on the onslaught into Hulkbuster. You have got quite a lot of health left though.
Yeah.
8 in total, I think.
Yeah, I've taken 5, so I have 8 to go.
Nice. So I'm guessing you're going to use Build to Take it
Oh,
again.
I most certainly am.
So 9 dice from Dormammu. See if we can get an explosive roll into the Hulkbuster. 5 again for me.
I have just rolled a single skull and a blank.
So that will be 6 in essence. You do reduce damage by 1 though, meaning you take 5 damage.
I do, which puts me to... I've got 3 left, and I take another 5 power, which is going to pretty much max me out here.
I do have a sap though, so you'll lose 1.
Yep, I lose 1 first, which will take me down to 5, but then
Yep.
I take 5 damage, so I'm still on...
Still on 10.
Yeah, I'm actually running out of 3 power tokens, because you keep hitting me here.
Nice. So, before Dormammu's turn, Enzo, Chris, I'm going to spend 1 power and interact with the point that he stood over to try and take it back from the Dark Dimension. So I don't get it as I only rolled 1 success, and I did get a skull, meaning I'll take 1 damage as well. So, that is the end of Dormammu's activation. Not quite managed to finish off the Hulkbuster, but we have sapped a little bit of his power. It'll be interesting now to see what you do, Chris.
Yeah, what do I do with a Hulkbuster and 10 power? So, before I do anything else, Rhodey is going to pay 5 power, and he is within 2, I would say, easily.
He is easily in 2 of the
and he is going to patch up my poor, battered Hulkbuster.
Yep.
So, take away that 5. So, we are going to go with Mr. Stark here again. And I think, I'm really tempted to just stick the Helios laser in, but I don't think the time is quite there yet.
No.
So, what I'm actually going to do, and my other problem is that I'm currently outside of 3, I think, from Dormammu. So, because you've had a smash, I feel it is only fair that I get a smash of my own. So, Ken of the Hammer attacks, I'm going to pay 3 to add 2 dice in. And I am going to smash that little hedge there to give myself 2 dice. I'm feeling the urge to bring a little bit of pain into to the area here. So I'm actually going to pay 2 for hit and run.
Yep.
How much damage has Zemo taken?
He's taken 1.
He's taken 1. So, and how much has Gwen taken?
She's taken 1 as well.
She has taken 1 as well. Frankly, Gwen has long since been a thorn in my side, so I'm actually just going to attempt to turn her into paste here. So I'm going to pay 2 for the hit and run to get me closer to Dormammu.
Yep.
And then I am going to stick a heavy repulsor blast into her.
Nice.
It would be 6 dice energy base. I've got a hammer, and I've used smash.
So 9 dice for you as well.
So yeah, it's a 9 dice attack coming in.
I only have 3 dice. My only saving grace. You are hexed.
And that hex has come in big there.
Sadly, Gwen's blocked nothing at all, Chris.
So I get, so I've got 5 successes.
Meaning Gwen is dazed.
So I get another 4 power, which is huge.
Gwen drops a hammer within 2.
Within 2. Which I'm actually going to pop it within 2 of Gwen.
And then your move now happens for hit and run.
Yep. So what we're going to do, so I think we're going to end up somewhere near that hammer. And yeah, I think we will pop into be round about here there, I think.
Yep.
And then, sorry, nudge Gwen. I will pay 1 to pick up the hammer.
Nice. So we'll just move the conditions over with you. The hammer is now yours.
Thank you very much. And I'm actually now wondering, that although we've talked about the Battle of the Behemoths here, I can feel some merit into actually turning Sam Wilson into pulp here to, frankly, help me hold on to the points. And I think, working on the theory that there's no kill like overkill here, I'm going to Meteor Punch into Sam Wilson.
Nice. I'm going to spend 2 power to add 2 dice to my defense roll.
So, I would have 8 dice base. I'm going to count these out carefully.
Yep.
Because I don't want to be cheating when I'm live on the YouTubes.
As opposed to cheating when nobody can see.
I have 2 for smash, and I have 2 hammers.
Nice, so 12 dice into Sam's 5. Not going to be great, I don't think, this for me. So 5 dice for me, and 12 for you.
It's not a great roll, actually. I only have the 4.
So my 5 defense, I've blocked 2.
Yep.
So you've got a crit to add though?
No I don't, because I'm hexed.
You're hexed, so actually Sam only takes 2 damage.
Yep.
You do get to throw him though, I believe.
I do. Has he... He's still got 2 left, hasn't he?
He will have, yes.
And it's a throwaway.
Dormammu gains a power
Yep.
as Sam has been damaged.
So, I think we can... Can we get... Is it a medium throw?
Yep.
Let's just double...
So I'm guessing you're going to throw him into the building?
I am going to throw him into the building.
So I'll grab a medium tool for you. You want him just over as far away as possible?
Out of my way would be great, yeah.
So Sam gets flung over here, like so, and takes another damage. So before the throw, the explosive trigger does mean that Dormammu would also take a damage.
And then that is Tony done.
So you didn't manage to get rid of Sam, however, you have done a couple more damage to Dormammu, which is not the kind of thing I was after. So it's down to Zemo to come in, or Sam himself, to do something to change the tide a little bit. I think it's going to have to be Sam. So Sam is going to start off with a charge, which is going to cost him 2 power.
Yep.
He's going to charge over here, this time making sure to be within 1 of that point.
Yep.
Next up, he's going to do a shield throw into Natasha. So 4 dice physical.
Yep. She will have 3, and she gets martial artist on this.
So we'll see how this one goes. 3 for
Wow.
Sam.
I've also got 3.
However, I do have 2 crits, so 5 in total for Sam.
5 in total, so she will take 2 damage.
I do get to push you away small. I'm going to push you over to here, which hopefully sets me up nicely for a ricochet into the Winter Soldier.
Well, that goes first, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
Your counter strike, but you know you're eagerly awaiting.
I'm eagerly awaiting
will happen
this.
after this. So the ricochet into Winter Soldier is 4 dice again.
Yep.
Just the 1 though.
Just the 1. Bucky says he's fine. He rolls
Yep.
3.
So Sam gains 2 power in total for both those shield throws. However, I'm sure the Widow now would like to do a counter strike.
I would like to do a counter strike, please. So I pay my 2 power.
And this is going to be huge. If you just get 1, that will be Sam KO'd.
So 4 dice coming in, and she doesn't get it.
So luckily Sam survives and doesn't get KO there. Sam is then going to spend 1 power.
Yep.
To try and take this middle point. Just got to weigh up what order to do it in, as Sam is so fragile at the minute.
Yeah.
So Sam is actually going to do a... He's not going to spend that power. He's going to do a 4 dice shield throw into Widow.
Okay.
Hoping to do some damage and not fall prey to a counter strike. So 4 dice into Widow's 3, and she's no longer counter blank. That is 3 for me.
I've rolled 1 so far, which is a crit. So
Yep.
I'll just move these 2 and add that in. So she takes the 2,
Which will daze her.
which will daze her.
So my push would happen after the effect.
Yeah.
So you won't be pushed. I do gain 1 power.
She takes another 1, and she is dazed.
Then, Chris, what I'm going to do is spend 1 power. I'm just going to clean up my power tokens
Yeah.
by having 3 instead of all the ones. So I'm going to spend 1 power to interact with this middle point and hopefully take it back for the Dark Dimension.
Yeah.
Which I do, and I don't get KO'd in the process, luckily. So that middle point, we'll just put a token here, is under the control of the Dark Powers of Dormammu. That is the end of Sam's activation. So it's then over to you, Chris.
Alright.
Right then, Chris, so you're going to go with the Winter Soldier.
So I am going to go with the Winter Soldier after a little bit of thought about it, and I am going to take a medium move to begin with. Which is going to put me, hopefully, within 2 of Hulkbuster.
Yep.
Which it will. I'm going to pay 2 power then for one of the better moves I think this game allows us to use, which is good old...
Spetsnaz training?
Not Spetsnaz training, what's it called? Hydra Tactics. Hydra Tactics. And I'm going to place myself within 1 of the Hulkbuster, which hopefully will drop me in around here.
Yep.
Puts me on the objective, and will also leave me within range of both Dormammu and Sam Wilson. Now the question then becomes, Dormammu has the hammer.
Dormammu does have a hammer.
Dormammu has the hammer. So Bucky's going to go nuts here. He is going to spend 4 for a Red Fury, which is a 7 dice physical attack into Dormammu.
So I only get 4 defense dice against this?
You do, and I get 1 reroll for being within 1 of you
Yeah.
due to Spetsnaz training. I've rolled 1 crit.
So I'm blocking with 1 crit myself. However, you add your crit.
Yep, I will move all those useless dice out of the way. I have 2.
I'll add mine. I have just the 1. So you do have a reroll.
I do have a reroll, which I will take this dice here, which takes me to 3.
Which means Dormammu is taking 2 damage, leaving him with just 1.
He will take a push away short.
He will, even though he's size 5,
Yeah.
Bucky cares not.
Are you happy that he can go towards Natasha? Yeah. So he will bump up into Natasha, who is an excellent backstop.
So then that is Dormammu's power and damage sorted. So now you get a free 4 dice rapid fire attack into Dormammu again.
Yeah. So I've got 2.
So I've got 1, so I could really do with this being a block. And
it is.
So I don't take any damage. However, you do get the rapid fire.
Yeah. Which comes in at 4 blanks.
So that is absolutely huge, as now, we're just going to put this back here. What Dormammu is going to do is spend 2 power to make you feel the power of darkness, which will push you off of that objective and give you Hex.
Ugh.
So I've just pushed you into the Hulkbuster, giving you the Hex, just making sure the objective is where it should be, but most importantly meaning you cannot interact with it.
You say that. So what I'm actually going to do is pay 2 power, then to use my Hydro Tactics again. I'm going to replace myself from whence I came.
Back within one of the objectives.
It's ridiculous that you can use it multiple times, but...
And now you're going to try and interact with it, needing 1 success.
I have one power left, and I need 2 successes because Sam hit.
Sam is not healthy, so you just need the 1.
Just need the 1, which I get.
Yes, so that is unfortunate for me. And I've got to do something with Baron Zemo about it now.
So that is the Winter Soldier done.
So Zemo, I need to be an absolute hero here. I need him to do absolute work. I'm hoping that he can. I'm thinking he might be able to, but we will see. So Zemo is going to go. He's going to spend 2 power to charge.
Yep.
And within 2 of War Machine. Then he's going to spend 2 power for a Master Swordsman.
Yep.
And get full rerolls on his 5-die strike into the War Machine. Hoping that we can do the 1 damage we need today. So I'm thinking I might be able to do.
It might be. I've got 4 here. I've rolled 2 crits.
I also have 2 crits, so I'll add mine. Taking me to 6.
I don't think I can stop this, but we can make it look good. I blocked 3.
Then I've got a reroll for Master Swordsman, taking me to 7 in total.
Yep.
So you take 1 damage.
Yep, I do.
So a little bit more.
And just enough, but...
I gain 1 power. And then with Zemo's second action, as War Machine is now dazed, I'm going to move long onto the middle point and roll to try and take it back. So 3 dice for Zemo. And it belongs to the Dark Dimension once more. Then Chris, that is the end of his activation. It's just down to you with Luke Cage.
So at this point it would be a huge swing for me to walk in with Luke Cage and take that point.
It would.
Do we risk it? So I would need 2 successes on 3 dice again. But it would be a
huge.
It would be a huge swing. Well, we didn't come here to not roll dice, did we? So what I am going to do is take a medium move. Hope that I can get in here. I feel like I'm possibly putting people in harm's way unnecessarily, but I also would rather be lucky than good. So, again, he can easily nibble his way into there.
Yeah.
And then he will
spend the power.
And I'm looking for 2 successes here.
Yes, it could be huge.
I need a 3rd dice for that. And I don't get them, and I take a damage for my troubles.
So a little sigh of relief there, as you don't take it, meaning at the end of the round, Chris, the Dark Dimension will be scoring 4 points, 1 for their hammer and 3 for controlling 2 of the Meteors, taking them to 10. However, the Avengers still score 3 as they've got 3 hammers, taking them from 8 to 11.
Yeah.
So the Dark Dimension's still behind slightly, but it's a lot closer as we go into round 4. So Chris, the only answer I've got now is Violent. And we're starting off the round with Violence as Sam is going to succumb to the darkness. He's going to take a damage from Flames of Full Time as he's got 6 power, meaning he is KO'd. But Dormammu gets 1 power out of it. Yeah. Then Gwen will also take a damage as she's got 6 or more power, meaning Dormammu gains another power, putting it to 8.
I'm also happy, by the way, for her to remain dazed.
Yes, and I'll take that away. Gwen isn't dazed. So the question is, Chris, where do we start? I've got 3 characters to your 5 at the minute, so I need to equal that up a little bit, I think. It's going to be Gwen who's going to come in and hopefully make a big difference here. So Gwen is going to move long to here. And then she's going to spend 3 power for a 3-star beatdown into Hulkbuster.
Okay, I am going to be built to take this. So it's 1.
So this is a 6 dice physical attack.
Yep, I get 4.
So we'll see
3,
how
sorry?
this goes. Gwen is definitely following the route of violence.
I am blocking 1.
So I've got 5 of a crit to add. So 5 in total. You've blocked 1. You do reduce damage by 1, meaning you take 3.
And I get some power for that.
So that leaves Hulkbuster with 5 left.
It does leave him with 5 left.
So Gwen is going to do the only thing she can now and spend 6 power.
Yep.
Follow me into Dormammu. So we're going to move Dormammu over slightly and let the people see what's about to happen. He's only got 1 health left.
Yep.
But Chris, he's going to do some shenanigans here. So he's got 8 power.
Yep.
He's going to start off with an incantation of obliteration. So it's a range 3, 8 dice mystic attack, and I'll just read out Dark Miasma. So
Okay.
if I roll a crit, a hit, a shield, and a skull, after this attack is resolved, I can make an additional incantation of obliteration attack without paying the power cost. The additional attack must target a character within 2 of the original target that has not been targeted by this attack this round. So I'm going to spend 4 power, and I'm going to put this into the Hulkbuster, I believe. I'm just going to have a look. He's just outside of 2 of Luke Cage, sadly. So it might not work perfectly as I thought. I'm going to put it into Luke Cage first.
Okay, yep.
This is 8 dice mystic.
Yep. And I get 3 here.
Up to 9 because I've got a hammer. And it's important to remember I count my skulls as well as yours.
Yeah.
I also have 1 reroll for Baron Zemo.
This is going to
I
hurt.
think that's going to hurt Luke a little.
I've got 1 so far.
So I've got 7 with 3 crits.
Yeah,
So I'll add my 3 crits.
yeah, I think I'm dead.
So there's 7 there, 8, 9 because of the skull. I don't think there's anything that can save
No,
him.
I think he just takes the 5 damage that he has left on him. He gains a bunch of power,
He is then dazed.
but he then dazes in horrendous fashion. I will just grab one of your daze tokens because they're prettier than mine and pop them there.
So he will drop a hammer,
He will drop a hammer.
which I'm just going to put here for now. Within one of Dormammu's email and Gwen. So then I got a shield, I got a hit, I got a crit and a skull, which means I get to do the attack now into Winter Soldier.
Okay.
So this is going to be a 8 dice mystic up to 9 dice again, and we'll see if we can take him out as well. I think the answer might be yes. So we've got
I've rolled no successes.
So we've got 3 skulls, and then 3 normal successes give me 6 in total.
That's a very dead Winter Soldier.
So we take him off the table as well. So Dormammu really bringing the hurt home here in a big swing. That leaves you with Natasha and the Hulkbuster there in the middle of the table, which still isn't great. So I am going to spend... The question is, can I Shadow Bolt daze the Hulkbuster? I'm just having a quick look. So Dormammu is going to spend 1 power to pick up that hammer. And then he's going to do a Shadow Bolt into the Hulkbuster. This is going to be 6 dice base.
Yep.
Plus 2 for the hammer, so 8 dice in total.
The Hulkbuster is built to take it.
It is.
So I'm only on 2 dice.
But you are hopefully built to take it.
Yeah, and I have 5 wounds remaining.
It's a pretty good roll. I've got 5, I think, at the minute.
I'm blocking 1, which does nothing because of the crit.
So you block 1, you reduce by 1, meaning you take 3 damage.
I do take 3 more damage.
I do Sapper Power though,
Yep.
putting me to 4.
Which actually leaves me completely maxed out here.
Nice.
So
Sadly, I wasn't able to finish off the Hulkbuster there, and that is the end of Dormammu's activation. So Chris, a little bit underwhelming on that second attack. Leaves Hulkbuster with the choice of who he would hit. However, if you do manage to take out Zemo, I think that is game over for the Dark Dimension.
yeah, I think that probably gives me multiple opportunities to have a crack at that middle point. So, I mean, I have a ton of power, and we haven't got to do Helios Laser yet.
No,
So, but because I'm feeling sort of in a bit of a fun mood here, we might actually save that and dump that to completely overkill the last wound off of Dormammu. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to pay 2 for hit and run with the Hulkbuster, and then I am actually just going to stick an 8 dice I'm just doing some bit of maths here. 8 dice, repulsor blast into Zemo, who has taken
1 damage.
Taken 1 damage so far.
So that is going to hurt a little bit. I'll get 3 defense dice.
Yeah, I get 8 here. I have rolled 5 here.
Nice. So I've got 3 defense. I'm blocking 2 though, meaning I'll take 3 damage.
You take 3.
I can't use my reroll there as I've got a skull.
I gain 3 more power.
So I've got 1 left.
Again, yep.
So would you like to push Zemo, or are you happy with where he is?
I don't. I actually don't have a choice here.
Nice.
I have to push you away, sure. So what I will do is I will pop you to here.
Yep. So I think in that angle, you just click loop.
Yeah. So,
So
we
it
have
just
to
needs
go
to
a
go-
little bit this
yeah.
way.
Which sadly does mean that I won't be able to counter strike.
Yeah. Then I am actually just going to let everybody else do the hard work here, because Dormammu's gone. Your only threat on the board is Zemo.
Yep.
So as much as I didn't want to dump this into him, I think he is within 5 of me.
So we're going to do a big heal.
We're gonna drop probably far more power than I need to in here.
So the tactics card itself costs how much?
The tactics card itself it's any number of allied characters may spend power to play this card. It comes with 2 dice as a base
So Hulkbuster's going to have to spend 2 power for his hammer attacks.
for his hammer attacks. So that puts him down to enough.
But that will, I'll get the dice ready for you. So that will be 2 dice base,
Yeah.
2 for your hammers, and then however much more power you want to
So
spend.
Hulkbuster's not doing anything else, so he is going to add 8 dice to
Yep.
this.
So that will make it up to a 12 dice stack. Then Natasha,
Needs to keep 1 for interacting with points in a minute, so she
she's
is going to
gonna-
add 4.
and then that is everything you can spend other than War Machine.
Who's going to add another 2?
Nice. So that will be a 18 dice Helios.
An 18 dice Helios laser into Zemo.
The question is, can you do 1 damage?
The question is, can I do 1 damage for that? The other point is that I only actually bought 15 dice with me.
So I'll give you some.
Thanks, Aaron. So 18 dice coming in. On the plus point, I can't count my crits on this.
Yeah, but your explosive will kill Dormammu.
Yeah, so I'm just going to start factoring all these out. Do you want to roll your defense roll while I count out the ones that I
Yeah,
can't?
I don't think it'll make much
No.
difference. I've got 1 with a rerolled 1.
Yeah, I have enough with a wild.
So you've got 10.
Yeah.
So Zemo takes the 1 damage you needed to dies him. Then the explosive trigger goes off, meaning characters, or is it enemy characters with it?
It is. He's just reading the card. Enemy characters within 2.
So Dormammu takes a damage, which will daze him, meaning he drops 2 hammers. So,
Which will. I don't think. So what I've actually done here is put myself in a bad position where. Oh no! As long as I get the point, it should be fine.
yeah, you should be okay.
Yeah. So I am actually just going to spread these around because I've not left myself any power to pick these up because I forgot about that trigger. So we'll pop 1 there.
Yep.
And we will pop another 1 out here so we can make somebody play fetch.
So, Chris, we do have the hope that you don't manage to get either of these meteors, though. That is the end of Hulkbuster's activation.
And then it's a couple of very simple dice rolls. So War Machine will go. He will pay a power, and he's rolling 3 dice.
He
Look,
just needs a success,
Success.
Chris. So
which he gets.
That
And
one is yours. Then, is he just going to chill out?
I think he just chills there.
And then Natasha goes,
She can nominally move into the middle.
and then she just needs 1 success as well.
I've got the one over that corner
Yeah.
as well, but just for fun, she doesn't get that in the trade, but she's got a hit there,
Yeah,
and
she's got
she would take a damage for her troubles, but
So, Chris, what a huge swing. I think with 2 such big presences on the board,
Yeah.
that was the way it was going to go no matter what. At the end of that turn, I'm scoring nothing, Chris.
Yeah.
You've got 1, 2, 3 of the meteors, meaning you get the 3 points. And then you also get 2 for your hammers, taking you to bang on 16. So it's
efficient.
16-10 to the Avengers.
Thank you very
for the
much.
game.
Thank you, Aaron.
And we'll quickly move to an outro where we'll talk through our MVPs and what happened. So, Chris, what a crazy game.
That was absolutely nuts. That was absolutely nuts.
Dormammu and Hulkbuster clashed in the middle. Dormammu was okay picking on the smaller characters, but he couldn't quite put Hulkbuster down. And then Hulkbuster came in with some big meteor punches, some big heavy repulsor blasts, and really went to town, taking out the Dark Dimension.
He really did. I mean, we were talking about this off camera, just that he is actually more of a control piece. Probably the highest threat control piece.
Very deceptive, because on the face of things, you look at him, Hulkbuster alone as a name means, he wants to smash face, but really, he's got a lot of really good control. Dormammu, again, feels a little bit lackluster for an 8 threat. He doesn't really feel that 2 threat on top of Hulkbuster, but I did miss a few of the Zemo rerolls, which I am guilty of myself there, as I was just trying to manage the weird power economy of the Dark Dimension itself. However, Chris, moving on from that, who was your MVP?
I think it has to actually. I mean, I want to give a quick shout out for Natasha and her 2 energy defense.
That was pretty good.
For just running in and swinging that point.
Like,
it's better to be lucky than good, apparently. And I mean, Hulkbuster there was immense. Even though he is a control piece, he with 2 hammers and the ability to smash things. An 8 dice attack with explosive and a throw on it is not to be sneezed at.
Pretty brutal, isn't it?
And he's tanky, built to take it, saved me.
Really helps,
I
doesn't it?
dread to think how much damage.
Probably across the game 7 or 8 damage, I'd imagine, which alone is insane. Absolutely wonderful to see Hulkbuster hitting the table. We might let John back out of the cage now that we've covered every affiliation.
I mean, maybe, but I mean, you've had another bald bloke to come over now, so I mean,
if I need someone bald and beautiful, John, he may be replaced there. But nevertheless, Chris, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
My MVP in that game, I'm not really sure who to give it to. I think it has to be Zemo. He did do quite good work. When I remembered his rerolls, it was very powerful. I don't normally forget rolls. I do try my best not to, but there was a lot going on with Dormammu and trying to face off the intimidating Hulkbuster. So Zemo for me, for yourself, Chris, Hulkbuster himself. Hopefully we'll get you on the channel again soon.
I'd love to come back if you'll have me.
So we will be more than happy to have you. John will be let out of his cage soon, I promise. We will have him back on. He's not dead, for anyone watching. He will be back. So, Chris, thank you for joining me.
Thank you very much for having me.
We'll see you all next time. If you enjoyed the game, please like and subscribe. We do also have a Patreon, but the outro will talk about all of that anyway. So, guys, thanks for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content. Feel free to leave any thoughts you have down in the comments below, and let us know if we missed anything or made any mistakes when playing the game. I just want to give a big shout out to all of the supporters of Web Warrior Protocols that have made this all possible, and a big thank you to all of the channel's patrons. The support from Patreon goes towards buying new terrain and buying new models to be painted up to be used on the channel. If you'd like to support the channel through joining the Patreon, you can find a link to it down below in the description, as well as links to all of the channel's social media.